Well, greetings. There is nothing neutral about the history of the Alamo, a somber story of sacrifice. But these days, San Antonio is a city where celebrations take place, and there is a fiesta in the making today. The theme today, win and you're in. And the Sooners collide with the top-ranked Missouri Tigers with a conference title and national title hopes on the line tonight in the neutral Alamo Dome. A high-stakes shootout in the Big 12. Coming up on College Game Day, we'll chew on OU's defensive game plan. Can the Sooners slow Chase Daniel tonight, or is a shootout the only way to conquer Missouri? Pete Carroll says you don't want to step in against his Trojans, and he'll tell you why. But is USC now the nation's best team? You got to beat the Bruins to smell the roses, guys. And the coaching carousel swirling at warp speed. What are the done deals and what's in the works? We got news just minutes away. College Game Day.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot, proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
Kind of a cool, gray day in San Antonio tonight under the roof of the Alamo Dome, Oklahoma and Missouri on Championship Saturday with a national title shot on the line. And supporting the Sooners and Ohio native Bob Stoops. Plenty of Ohio State fans. These are not transplanted Buckeyes. These folks said they traveled down here. Oh, Buckeyes are just sitting back in the clubhouse waiting to see how things unfold, and they just need a loss by Missouri or West Virginia to get in the national championship game.
Welcome to Jimmy B Week as we continue our commitment to the B Foundation for Cancer Research in tribute to Jim Valvano and his dream to defeat cancer. Folks, we are inside the famed Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Time to move all in. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. Oklahoma and the amazing Missouri Tigers. Can you believe it? When you look at the BCS standings, the Tigers are #1. And tonight, a chance to avenge their only defeat of the season at the hands of Oklahoma and Norman. Welcome, everybody. With Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Brent Musburger. A little bit later. So settle in, folks. The big one is still to come. Who will be headed to New Orleans for the BCS Championship? Who will celebrate tonight in San Antonio?
The best. Now you're being put to the test. Welcome to the Terror Dome. Now you're on your own. We gon' see who regulates and who gets to celebrate.
I just wanna celebrate. I wanna celebrate. I just wanna celebrate. Yeah.
They've got 10 guys within 5 yards.
2nd and 7. Play fake. Bradford going downfield. Got Kelly open. And he hauls it in. It was overthrown a bit, or he'd have walked into the end zone. It was a fine catch by Kelly.
When you put 9 and 10 guys up to the line of scrimmage, you leave yourself vulnerable one-on-one. Malcolm Kelly against Terrell. And again, that is a matchup that Kelly can win every time. He's such a long strider. He just ran away from Terrell. And Bradford did a good job of leading Kelly downfield. That is a huge, our first huge play tonight for either offense.
47 yards. There are tight ends on the field now. Grisham really an H-back look as he's flexed off the line there. Number 18, he's a fine talent. And this is Brown. Number 29 has stayed on the field as the running back.
It'll end up being a cat and mouse game between the two coordinators. Missouri's defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, and the offensive coordinator from Oklahoma, Kevin Wilson, on when to take those chances. And by taking that chance, it forces Missouri to be cognizant of that and get their safeties back to respect that aspect of the Sooners offense. And then the Sooners can get back to the bread and butter of running the football.
Second down and goal for the Sooners.
Got him again, left tackle.
Left tackle.
Load hole. You got
He's
to
flinching over there.
He's a load hole.
Yes, he is. Well-named youngster.
False start on the offense, number 79. The 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's a killer down there inside the 10-yard line. When you back them up like this, it really changes what Kevin Wilson calls in this situation.
Already 6 penalties tonight on the Sooners. 6. Not even into the second quarter.
And only 1 on the Tigers here. Second down and goal. Bradford drops it off. Short of the end zone is Joe John Finley. He's been his favorite target here tonight. Time runs out on the first quarter. Oklahoma threatening, but Missouri leads it by a field goal. And the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Here's 3rd and 4, and both Kirk and Chris agree. Watch for number 18, Jermaine Gresham. He's scored 10 touchdowns on the season for OU.
Remember Chris Brown in the first matchup between the Sooners and Missouri, also 3 touchdowns. He's tough in this area as well. If they get the numbers, they can run him.
Here he comes, end zone touchdown, just as you called. Brown, who had a big day, 13 for 67 yards along with those 3 TDs, and he bounces in to put the Sooners up for the first time tonight.
There are 2 players when you talk to the Sooners coaching staff that you can tell they're very excited about. DJ Wolf on the defensive side, and then Chris Brown, the sophomore tailback, who, as far as the media is concerned, has taken a back seat this year to DeMarco Murray, who's out for the year, and Alan Patrick, and Brown steps in there for a big score.
Garrett Hartley on for the extra point. This has not been automatic all season long.
But he is using that same technique with his left hand around the waist.
They gave the wrong number. Daniel going to keep it again. Right up to the middle, to the end zone. No signal yet. I thought he might have gotten there, and they're going to mark it apparently. Instant replay, probably going to take a look at this one. This was close, folks. Real close here.
Once again, Chase Daniel, this is a great job of just going in, attacking this defense.
I'm going to tell you what.
Yeah, it was.
I think they'll stop it.
Yeah,
take a look at that.
You would think it's close enough to stop. They're going to go to the pistol formation if they have to run.
And they toss on the pistol, bang, and that one is short. That was Jimmy Jackson who checked into the backfield. They like to use him in those power running situations down there. And I'm rather surprised that the call didn't come down to give the booth more time to look at that. Regardless, it was right up on the end zone. But here we go again now for Mizzou. It is 3rd and goal. And I'm sure OU this time is going to be looking for Daniel taking off on this.
Oklahoma's expecting that, already pinching in with their safeties and linebackers.
Here he comes. Well short that time. Never a chance. Fool me twice, shame on us. Fool me 3 times and you'll change the linebackers.
Granger, his quickness, 96, gets in there to penetrate. And how about Lofton coming off the slot receiver, expecting the run from Chase Daniel, and took it away. So the close call on the long run by Daniel. The Sooners defense steps up and forces the field goal.
Now 2nd and goal. Gresham is to the right of the formation. They're going to run the toss with Patrick. Patrick cuts toward the 5. Second effort, and out of bounds at around the 3.
Got to love Alan Patrick. When he gets on a roll, he starts to feel it. He is a very physical back for a 196-pound tailback. And Kevin Wilson, the coordinator, telling him, they're going to be 7 or 8 or 9 guys up there. You've got to be able to make a guy miss and run over another one.
Huge, huge play for Mizzou's defense. Brown, touchdown. Chris Brown, the touchdown maker, in the end zone again for the Sooners.
Heck of a drive there, Brent. Nice job of mixing up the play calling. And at the end, it just comes down to who's more physical in the trenches. And a good seal block again by Joe John Finley.
An eternity. Chase Daniel, end zone this time. Touchdown, Mizzou. What a big moment, folks, this is for Missouri, the #1 team in the nation. Reeling, and with time running down, they finally score a touchdown and don't settle for a field goal. What a way to go into the intermission.
You want to get to the national championship game? You're playing for the right to get to the national championship. You're in your conference championship. You get down 14-6, and you have to show the ability to answer, and that's what they did.
Is it too early, Mr. Herbstreit, to go for 2?
I'd like to see a team kick the extra point. I think it's too early. There's going to be a lot of points scored in this game.
Yeah, you don't want to be chasing it, man. And Wolford is such a good kicker. It's a gamble. A lot of guys will say, don't take it if you don't have to, but let's see what happens. They can make it double. Reverse the throw from Macklin. Oh, yes, what a great call to go for 2. How good was that? Oh. Rucker around.
You know what?
Smile on the coach's face. You know, he doesn't back away.
Brent, they caught him twice in the game in Norman on the double reverse. This time they go double reverse and they end up throwing it. This is the touchdown. Look at the big splits here by the offensive line. In fact, the right tackle, Colin Brown, is way to the outside, and that's exactly where you have the ability to try to find a seam, and eventually Chase Daniel does it.
Play fake, move the pocket to the right, in trouble, and sacked brilliantly by Jeremy Beal. What a fine tackle that was by 4-4.
What a future that this young man has as a freshman. How many times in the Bob Stoops era have we seen beautiful defensive ends that have the ability to run and chase down a quarterback? This time, Beal has.
Rushing 5, couldn't pick him up. Here comes Lofton after him and took him up. Curtis Lofton, the defensive player of the year, coming free. A little cheap talk between the defensive and the offensive players of the year in the Big 12.
Give Brent Venables a lot of credit because he continues to bring the blitz. This time it's the linebacker, Lofton. He doesn't buy the play action. And look at the speed and acceleration from the linebacker at 240.
What's at risk? Well, here is a 3rd and 6 now for the Sooners. Pocket's clean. Got an open receiver, and he's got it. Manuel Johnson's first reception of the night, and a penalty flag.
And long, a lot of crossing receivers. The tight end Grisham, Kelly's crossing. When that happens, it takes a lot of time, and it's a great job of reading this defense by Sam Bradford, taking what they give him, and again, making a big throw, and here's the late hit by Terrell.
So on 1st down, they come with Patrick. Middle opens. He breaks free. Still going. 15. Cuts inside the 5-yard line.
What a job by the left side of the offensive line from Oklahoma. The first time they've really asserted themselves. Watch the kick out down here, and then the backside guard comes around. Brandon Braxton, what a job, what movement, and look how they open it up. And how about Alan Patrick, the quickness and acceleration that he has when he gets into the secondary.
Moore saved the touchdown. You see that Alan Patrick is checked back in the game. Pleasant offset would be the lead blocker. They'll try that on the left side. Here comes Patrick, end zone, touchdown over you.
You see him say to Chris Brown, that's what we're talking about. Get it to the outside with our speed, and we're going to score a touchdown. Gutsy call and a confident call to run the football here. And this is exactly what Bobby Stoops wanted to see. Bounce it to the outside, use your speed, get to the corner, touchdown Sooners.
Chase Daniel get the ball back after the...
And would that penalize them based on the way people might vote for Virginia Tech, LSU, and USC?
Deflected, intercepted. Picked off on the ricochet. And the big man, Curtis Lofton. This could be a killer. I think Daniel thought there was interference out there.
Remember, it was Curtis Lofton in the first game against Missouri who had a big play, a 12-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown. This time, it's off a tip pass by Martin Rucker, and he almost takes it to the house again. This guy always seems to be around the football, making big plays.
Curtis Lofton, 3 for a loss, the interception. And again, if you weren't with us, and here's the handoff now, and Brown slashes to the 4-yard line. Lofton, 138 tackles, more than Rocky Kalmus or Ted Lehman had for Stoops. And Bob told us he's the most productive linebacker he's ever had. And against Missouri in that first game, he had 18 tackles and that 12-yard fumble return that Kirk spoke about for a touchdown.
Well, the instincts are amazing. Sees everything just a step faster than everybody else, and that time he happened to be in the right place at the right time. The ball was thrown high to Rucker, who's usually very sure-handed. Bounced off his hand and just went up in the air, and there's Lofton waiting for it.
I think Coach Pinkel said it well. He was wide open. That was the word from upstairs. Touchdown! Jermaine Gresham, his 11th touchdown of the season. And for the first time tonight, a 2-touchdown lead for Oklahoma.
Connell Davis, number 2, gets lost here. I think Missouri's expecting the run. Look at the linebackers stepping up into the line of scrimmage, and Grisham's able to easily get to the back corner where there are no Missouri, who's relied on their offense all season, now has to have a big play from their defense.
Bradford has plenty of time, goes deep, got a man wide open to the 15-yard line. Jermaine Gresham.
This is part of the risk by loading up, expecting that the Oklahoma offense is out there to kill the clock. It's not real fancy, but it allows the quarterback to have time off of play action. Look how the Missouri defense reacts to that, and they're out of position because they're expecting the Sooners to run the football. A good call in the right time to make the call that time by Kevin Wilson. Got Missouri out of position.
They're the only team still standing.
Yeah, they have an argument to get into the BCS. I don't know about the championship
Come on,
game.
the
I'm thinking up here more and more. I think, what do you think, LSU? Yeah, I think
they
LSU.
win the SEC. How can you choose Georgia? I don't know. Bradford, touchdown. Boomer Sooner, baby. Number 1 in deep trouble now. Finley. All week, Bob Stoops had an edge. He said they're talking up there in the Midwest like this was a fluke down here in Norman. He talked about it to all the writers. He talked about it to the broadcasters. I'm sure he talked about it to the team. He said, let's prove that we were indeed a better football team. And as of right now, folks, you can't argue, Kurt.
How fitting for Joe John Finley. 2 touchdowns last week and another big one tonight.
3 touchdowns. The last 3 Oklahoma possessions. Hello, Fiesta Bowl. 3rd and 1. Boy, I'll tell you, you know what? And Chase Daniel is going to go after the defender, and that was Jeremy Beal, who's played a heck of a game. You know, Chase Daniel does not want to see the Alamo Dome again, folks. This is where he lost his only high school game to Katy, Texas. And here tonight, 4 quarters away from a national championship game, and loses to Oklahoma.
The other race that's affected tonight, obviously, is the Heisman Trophy. Darren McFadden and Tim Tebow were in the clubhouse.
For the Holiday Bowl, we'll have a Big 12 team in that against the Pac-10, and then we'll go to the Granddaddy, and we'll wait and see. Gutierrez is now on the field, and how about our Chevrolet players of this game? Sam Bradford, 18 of 26, 209 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Chase Daniel, tough night, but a great season, and didn't end the way he wanted it, but they took such a huge step forward with their first Big 12 North title, and certainly they'll be back in contention for that championship next week.
Well, put your seatbelt on, because it's about to get interesting. We know Ohio State's in. I'm telling you, I think LSU is in after winning the SEC. Between LSU and USC is my prediction. I give an edge to the LSU Tigers.
Stoops will take that bath every time. And the Mizzou players are going across the field to shake hands. Gary Pinkel is out there with Bob. And Pinkel now congratulating some of the players. And there's Sam Bradford. Automatic BCS bid. Their anchor bowl is the Big 12. Coach Gary Pinkel is with Lisa. Lisa?
Coach, the game was tied at half, but the second half, a whole different story. When did the game start to really get away from you?
Well, we made a couple mistakes in there, obviously. You know, we got field goals in the red zone. They got touchdowns, and they played excellent. I think you got to give them credit.
Now, you were never really able to slow down their offense. What problems were you having defensively slowing them down?
Well, they get too many big plays. You give up big plays, and some penalties, those things happen.
And Chase, we've seen what he can do all year long. Why was he never really able to get comfortable tonight?
Well, I think, you know, again, they did a great job of holding us to field goals. We got 3 field goals instead of touchdowns, and you give them credit. They're a very good football team, and we didn't do the things we need to do to win.
Now, you were telling us before the game that this was the biggest game of your career, so this has got to be one of the most disappointing losses of your career. What will you say to your guys in the locker room?
Well, you got to play better. You got to play better in the second half. You made a lot of mental errors. We had penalties, some critical penalties, and we'll be better at it next time. And
still, congratulations on a great season.
Thanks.
Brett.
Gary Pinkel, class act. He's done a terrific job up at Missouri. Hats off again to Bob Stoops and the Oklahoma Sooners, the 2007 Big 12 champions. They have won 5 of 6. And Stoops remains unbeaten against Missouri. And now the Sooners will head to a BCS Bowl. And I want to remind you to tune in tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN for the Bowl Selection Show. Kirk Herbstreit will join Reese Davis and the gang. They'll sort out who's going where, including, of course, who will be joining us right here on ABC at the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi, January 1st at 4:30 Eastern Time. So for Lisa Salters, Chris Spielman, and Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Brett Musburger. So long from San Antonio, everybody.
Thanks, guys. We're here with the OU defensive coordinator, Brent Venables, and you're proudly wearing the championship. It doesn't say back-to-back, though.
Well, these things are each one of their own entity. They're very hard to come by, And obviously we're very proud and feel very fortunate we were able to beat a great Missouri team and really bite down in that second half to find ways to get off the field and make plays to win the game.
And that was the thing. There were all those three announced in the second half. It has to make you, as a defensive coach, proud of the effort that your guys were putting forth up there, because this is a tough offense to stop.
Very much. And again, they had momentum coming in at halftime and made some nice plays. They got great players and a terrific quarterback and a really good, difficult scheme to defend. And really, again, very proud of the resiliency and the focus and the discipline we played with in the second half, and never stopped believing, and tied up at halftime. Couldn't get any better, couldn't have a better ending, and just incredibly proud of our guys for their effort and their determination.
So many great individual performances, but it seems like every game Curtis Lofton comes up with something big. He did again tonight.
It's that $1 million worth of coaching he's getting all the time. No, just a great player. The great players define themselves. They stand out by themselves, and they continue to be in position to make big-time plays, game-changing plays. He made another one tonight. The test of time really has shown. Again, I think he set himself apart from a lot of guys, across the country, and has put himself in position to be one of the elite, if not, in the top, 3 or 4 guys in the country coming back next year. And any great defense, it starts on the interior from defensive tackle to that middle linebacker, and he's been everything for us.